that we're more comfortable with reading academic texts, we are going to practice defining a word. And the reason we're doing this is because sometimes on a test that you might take, it may ask you to define a word. So just so everyone is on the same page to review it, to define a word means that we are explaining what the word means. So we're giving words and information about the word to explain what the word actually means. So this is similar to providing synonyms or similar words to a word, but definitions usually have more information, more details, and they describe the word. So we're going to practice with the word rebellious. And you all have pictures to help you with the word rebellious because you might not be super familiar with this word. So rebellious, basically, it means or is defined as someone who resists. So resist is like going against authority. So authority being the police, a teacher, or parents, or control. And control would be the control that maybe cops or parents have over the rebellious person. So this would be an example of a good definition. So I am going to write an example of a bad definition. So a bad definition would be rebellious is defined as someone who is rebellious. So can you tell me why that's a bad example?
Says nothing.
Right. So this definition doesn't tell us really what rebellious means. So one thing that is usually not good to do in a definition is to use the same word. So this example doesn't tell us what rebellious means, but this definition does. Okay, so I'm also going to give you some phrases, so some like sentences that you can use to introduce a definition. And I kind of used one earlier. So sometimes words have more than one definition. So one way we can say that or introduce that is we can say X, and X is the word we're defining. We could say X can be defined as. X is our word. This is our definition. Okay, and then this is good because this is a full sentence. Okay, And then we could also say, if it's more than one way, we could say X is often defined as, and then just like this, what is X?
The word.
And what is this?
The definition.
Good. So then we could also say X can be defined in different ways and then you could give the definition. So maybe say X can be defined in different ways. One way is, so these are some ways that you can introduce definitions of words. And this is helpful on a test when they ask you to write in full sentences instead of just saying like X means, or X like that. So you can means. So now you have full sentences of ways to introduce a definition. Okay, so before we move on to our activity, I'm just going to do, we're going to do a quick practice as a class with the word, one of the words from your readings, which is turmoil. Okay, and then to help you kind of remember what this word means, you also have handouts that has pictures that kind of relate to this word. So, do you remember what this word means? So, after looking at your pictures, does that help at all? A little bit? So, turmoil is like a really sad situation. Okay, so then how would we say this using a full sentence? Do you want to write it on the board?
Yes.
Good. So turmoil can be described as a really bad situation. Good. So now that you kind of have the hang of that, we are going to do an activity. So what I want you to do is look back in your reading at tasks 1 and 2 in the book that you have, and you are going to read over that, and then you're going to close your book after looking at it closely, and then you're going to respond to the prompt, okay? And the prompt is define. So you're going to define adolescence. Okay? So what I want is use as much detail and as many words and information as you can and then to also use one of the phrases that we just went over. And after you're done, I'll give you a few minutes, and after you're done, compare it with a partner and then see if you can add anything. So I want each of you to read it aloud to each other and then see if they said something about adolescence that you missed or the other way around. And after you're done with that, you're going to get into a small group and see if you can still add anything, and then I'll have a volunteer come up and read theirs. Okay? So make it a paragraph. So about 3 to 5 sentences. Okay.